Have you ever seen a statue that twists and turns like a giant puzzle? How many layers does it take to bring Kafka's thoughts to life? Today we're having a wild ride into the mind of one of the most brilliant and bizarre writers, Franz Kafka. Hello, fabulous viewers. I'm Olga, your cheerful tour guide from invincible Ukraine. Because of the war in my homeland, I am a refugee here in this fairy tale city of Prague, and I'm trying to use this challenge and the opportunity to show you the most mesmerizing sights in this magical city. Subscribe to my channel not to miss my live streams and adventures. You have probably heard about this famously confusing genius who wrote the Metamorphoses. Probably you didn't know that right in the heart of Prague there is the insane 45-ton spinning metal sculpture dedicated to Franz Kafka. When you're standing close to the spinning sculpture, you have the surreal feeling of peering directly into the inner world of Kafka's brilliant and troubled mind. Right outside the Quadrio shopping mall in the new town of Prague, there is the massive Kinetic sculpture. It's called Metamorphoses, and it was made by David Černý. It's 11 meters tall, it weighs 45 tons, and it's not the usual statue that you're ready to see in the city, because it's made of 42 layers and they rotate independently. At the beginning of the hour, every sharp hour for 15 minutes, you can see this spinning show. When you're standing here below the giant head of Franz Kafka and all of a sudden it starts twisting and turning, it's like his thoughts are just spinning right in front of you. Why a spinning head, you might ask? Kafka's novels are full of complexity and confusion, and the readers sometimes have a strange feeling that they are like inside the metal maze, and the sculpture captures that perfectly. When the layers move, sometimes you would see that Kafka's face comes together and the next moment it falls apart. So that fact, that show, reflecting the constant metamorphoses, changes and the turmoil in the mind of this genius author, and it perfectly represents his inner world. Bizarre, surreal, and a little bit unsettling. I've been standing here for 15 minutes just staring at this thing. Let me tell you that this is the longest time I've ever spent looking at the piece of art. It's really hypnotic. The layers reflect the surrounding buildings, so the sculpture itself looks differently depending on where you're standing and what part of the day you're here. You can see it at morning light, afternoon glow. It's like the statue with different personalities every time you see it. That is the most expensive street art in Prague, and this giant sculpture is 11 meters tall. It's constructed with 42 separate motorized layers. They continuously rotate, rearrange at different speeds. So when the head is moving, these small mirror-like pieces are twisting, and just for 1 second, you can see the Kafka's image together, and the next moment his face distorts and it turns into something abstract, kaleidoscopic and spiral. These shiny layers, they always reshuffle into the new hypnotic patterns, and between the hours, between the shows, the statue stands stern and still. This statue was built in 2014 and it cost 30 million Czech crowns. It was funded by nearby shopping center Quadrio. Each layer of the statue rotates independently, and they are driven by the motor models. They are connected by the kilometer of the cables that are hidden inside. And the movement is happening every 15 minutes of every hour, and it's absolutely mesmerizing. There is usually a crowd of people standing waiting for this show. David Černý is the genius behind this creation, and he's known for his unusual controversial art pieces all around Prague. Probably you remember his creepy giant babies with the barcode facers that are climbing the TV tower, and the originals are placed close to the waterfront. But this Kafka sculpture is the whole new level of fascination. There is something interesting because the rotating layers, they resemble the cogs of the famous astronomical clock in Prague, and it's kind of adding another layer of metaphor, of symbolism, because it's reflecting the Kafka's life as a cog in the bureaucratic machine of modern society. He worked at the insurance company that was located in the Wenceslas Square, but he despised his job because it took away his life and his time from the thing that he loved, from the writing. So his novels sometimes feel of the sad feelings and depression. Kafka was born in Prague, and he was a very shy, introverted child, and it's known that he had difficult relationships with his father, who was a self-made entrepreneur. And this difficult relationship greatly influenced his novels. He was successful in his law career, but he was always suffering from this self-doubt, from depression, and these feelings sometimes mirrored in his novels, like Metamorphosis, The Trial, The Castle. He wrote in German, he spoke Czech and French, and his books sometimes were describing a bizarre and oppressive world. And also Franz Kafka's life was marked by the tragedy. He had 5 siblings, 2 brothers who died when they were small kids, and 3 sisters. They died during the Holocaust in Nazi concentration camps. Kafka himself died from tuberculosis in 1924. He was buried in the New Jewish cemetery in Prague. Just before he died, Kafka asked his friend Brod to burn all his writings, his diaries, his letters. Thankfully, Brod ignored his request, and instead he shared Kafka's genius with the world, and that made him one of the most important writers of the 20th century. On the day Kafka passed away in 1924, something strange happened in Prague. The clock on the town hall tower stopped, and it stayed that way for a week. It seems like as if the city itself paused to remember this remarkable man. This rotating head sculpture is a brilliant tribute to Kafka's legacy. It's made of stainless steel, it's constantly moving, and these layers are like the metaphor of the complexity of the Kafka's thoughts and works. The sculpture is always changing, just like Kafka's writings. And when you are in Prague, make sure to check out this wild piece of art, because it's so special, and it's even not like it's not a statue, it's an experience. And who knows, maybe staring at the spinning layers of Kafka's mind will slow time for you, just like he was writing in his quote, "Anyone who keeps the ability to see the beauty never grows old." I don't know, even if you are not super versed in Kafka's writings, or you're not involved in the contemporary art, this piece of art is still unmissable. It's so fascinating because it's changing how we see the things, and it invites us to come up with our own interpretations. This unusual installation combines the city's rich literature, heritage, and innovative public art. When you're coming here, you can really feel that people are proud of the fact that Kafka was living and writing here. Thank you so much for supporting me on Buy Me a Coffee. Your contributions mean a lot to me. Thank you for believing in my work and helping me to chase my dreams. Catch you later. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for the weekly dose of European charm.